Okay, lesson 17, problem set number 1. Multiply the model, or multiply and model. Rewrite each expression as a multiplication sentence with decimal factors. The first one is done for you. So we have, how many total boxes do we have here? 100. And if you've ever used base 10 blocks, you know that each strip is worth how much? 10. Each of these little boxes is worth
1/10 or 1 unit.
1 unit out of how many total? 100. So let's go down to this one. I'm going to skip that B for right now because I'm not sure. Sometimes the modeling thing I'm confused on as well. 1 4/10. We have 1/10. What's another way of saying this? Times. What's another word I can use? Of. 1/10 of 1/4. So what am I going to start with?
1/4.
Or 1 4/10. Yes. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this is 1 whole, right? I'm not going to sit here and color in 100 boxes. That's ridiculous. I don't care if I just got on camera saying that. Okay, then how much is this worth?
1 4/10.
Okay, we have our 1 whole, so what do we have left?
That's the
What's
the 4/10 left.
4/10. And remember, one of these strips makes 4/10. Or I could just count 1, 2, 3, 4 and say this is 4/10. I'm going to draw a line down there. Make it easier on myself. Now we have 1/10. How does that work? How does that work? Yeah, you can write it. 1/10 of 1 4/10. How have we been doing it when we have those boxes? Okay, so we're going to just do 1/10 . Now what do you think I need to do? Okay, you count how many are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So how many tenths do we really have?
We have 24/10.
No? 14 tenths. Which would also be the same as what? 14 hundredths. Remember how we did that decomposing thing? Remember that? So if we did this, what we'd have is 1 times over 10. And if I divided that, when you divide, what direction do you move the decimal? So if this would equal 1 times 1 4/10 would also equal what? 1 4/10 over 10. And when I divide by 10, do you guys remember which direction I move the decimal?
You move it to the left because the number's getting smaller.
To the left. So if I divide by 10, I could put 1 4/10 inside the box, or I could just use my rule of when I divide by 10, I move the decimal 1 place to the left. When I divide by 100, I move the decimal how many places to the left? 2 places. So I just move my decimal 1 place to the left, and it would equal 14 hundredths. So what they're saying is you're going to look at the whole box. The whole box is worth how much? 100, and then you're going to count how many total tenths you've shaded in. Well, I've shaded in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Because I've done 1/10 of each part, right? And it's a strip. I could have kept going, but would have still overlapped with this. No, the only part, see if I kept going I could do this. But the only ones that overlap with 1 4/10 would be these. Does that make sense? Let's try another one. So what am I going to start with down here? What am I going to start with? I have 6/10 of 1/7. What do you think? Okay, well let's just start with our 1 7/10. So we have one hole here, right? If you want to sit and color it all in, you can. I'm not messing with it. 7/10. How many boxes am I going to go over on the top before I start? Stop. Mandy? 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the stop line. Okay, this tells you stop. I'm done. Now how do I do 6/10? How many rows am I going to go across? How many rows? 6. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to take all of these and go to my stop line. You see how I'm doing that? Because right now if I have a strip of 10, right here, do you see a strip of 10? I've colored in 6 out of the 10 total. And I'm going to do that for every single strip of 10 all the way across because we're multiplying it. So every single one of these boxes is the same as 6/10. And it takes time. And time. I like this lesson though because you don't spend too much time drawing the things. Okay. How many boxes have I colored in? How many boxes? All together. 102. You can find that out by saying there's 6 here times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You could do it that way, or you could just count them all up, okay? What'd you say, 102? So we get 102. Let's see if we're right. One and 7/10 times 6. What's 6 times 7?
42.
42. Carry your 4. 6 times 1 is?
6.
Plus 4 is?
11. 10.
10. Remember, anytime you have a decimal here, you have to put it where? Where am I going to put my decimal?
Well, you're just going to bring it straight down to my base.
Huh?
You're going to bring it straight down to my base.
Well, that's when you add and subtract, you bring it straight down. But when you multiply, what do you have to do? What's the rule of multiplying?
Count how many numbers are behind the decimal, and then put it where how many numbers there are.
Okay, so we have one total number behind the decimal. That would even work if I had decimal 6 down here. So my answer is going to be one whole behind there. So we have 10 decimal 2 divided by what? 10 equals, what am I going to do with my decimal? 10 and 2/10 divided by 10.
You're going to move it to the left. That will be 1 and 2 hundredths.
1 and 2 hundredths. You put your decimal right there. Now, let's just see what would happen if I took these and moved them over here. You think I should try that? Let's see if we would end up with one whole box filled up here with only 2 left over here, because that's what it's saying I would have. I just folded your paper, sorry. I forgot I was using your paper. I'm going to color them in. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 40 boxes that we can fill in here. So that's going to be our one whole. How many do we have to take off over here? 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So, how many do I have here? 1 whole. And how many are left over? 2. 2 out of how many total boxes? 100. Is that what our answer says? 1 and 2 hundredths? Yes, that's correct. I have the next page. I'm going to just write on it. Okay. Multiply. The first few are started for you. So here's what they're trying to get you to do, guys. They're trying to get you to look at, if I have 7/10, I would have 7 of these boxes colored in, right? And that would be the same, it would say 7/10 would be the same as, okay, when you're looking at fractions, you could say 7/10 or 7/10. So what they've done is they've done 5 times 7/10. You take 5 times 7 divided by 10 equals 3 and 5/10. Look at this one. 5/10 times 7/10. How do they know it's 5/10 times 7/10? How'd they know that?
They took 5 times 7.
But how do they know to put it over 10? And not 100 or 1,000? How'd they know to do that?
Because there's not a 0 between that number and the decimal.
Okay. What do you think, Madison? Okay, good. This, read that number to me, everybody. 5/10. Read that to me.
5/10.
That one?
7/10. 7/10.
There you go. So that's how you know to put over 10. So they said 5 times 7. You would do 5 times 7 equals 35 over 10. What's 10 times 10? 100. Well, can you reduce it? Okay, so now we have 35 hundredths, and they want you to divide 35 by 100, so how are you going to do that?
Decimal 35.
Okay, move the decimal over 2 times, so it's going to be decimal 35. Okay, you can do that. Let's try 6 times 3/10. 6 times, what's my 3 going to go on top of? 10. Is the same as saying 6 times 3 over 10. So what would that give me? 6 times 3 is 18 over 10. 18 divided by 10 is 1 and 8 tenths. Got it? It's a pretty easy assignment if you ask me.